right. Namasa. Hulet kita. Kilame.
It is Human Rights Day, a day to commemorate what happened in Sharpeville in 1960 before most of us were even born. Remembering the events of 1960 when 69 people died and another 180 were wounded in a confrontation with the police in Sharpeville in South Africa. And on this day, it's supposed to be a day of dignity and human rights. This is the leader of an opposition party in South Africa, Julius Malema. And listen to what he has to say as he sings this song.
Etati, kichi, kichi, kichima. Sipram konto, alayeth. Shoot to kill, Yamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa. Attention.
So Donald Trump got it wrong. There's nothing to see here. Minorities are not oppressed in South Africa. They're under no threat. And by extension, farm murders are nothing special. There's no farmers being murdered in South Africa, according to Cyril Ramaphosa back in 2018. No farmers. None. Certainly no white farmers, is what he said to Bloomberg News in 2018. While South Africa's government continues to gaslight the world, Donald Trump has finally lifted that veil with his 7 February 2025 executive order exposing hypocrisy, the lies, and the distortions coming out of South Africa, while its minority communities of Black, white, colored, and Indian are under threat by people acting the fool.
Where were you when I'm dream? So fast, kitchen.
Now, this violent, oppressive song is meant to intimidate and frighten in a terroristic manner those who are the recipients of it, the Boers, the white farmers of South Africa. This has gone to court, and the court has upheld that this is free speech. Meanwhile, if anyone utters the K word, a Arabic word meaning unbeliever, you go to jail as a felon in South Africa. Free speech is free speech, but inciting violence is something completely different. This is what happens on Human Rights Day. And it happens in the midst of the behavior of South Africa's government having irritated the United States government to the point of almost no return. After the South African ambassador of the U.S. has been sent home for lying about America and calling President Trump the leader of a global white supremacy movement and Americans racist, then this happens on Human Rights Day. This is how the EFF, look at these people dancing and cheering and excited about the potential murder of people based on their skin pigmentation. You can't get more racist than this. Really? Really? And Donald Trump got it wrong. There are no farm murders in South Africa. There are no farmers being killed. But we have people running around inspiring people to shoot to kill and kill the Boer. Openly. When he did this after the events in Senegal in 2020, singing up on the stage with his number 2, calling for shooting the Boer, switching to English to make sure we understood what was being said, over 90,000 plus hectares of prime farmland in the Free State, where Senegal is, and also in the Northern Cape, were torched and set alight by arsonists. The government tried to cover it up, claiming that it was service delivery protests at 4 o'clock in the morning, when in fact it happened at all hours, and it started shortly after this. In the 3 days after he called for the killing of the Boer, thousands of hectares were destroyed, thousands of wildlife, and at least one farmer nearly burned to death. As far as I know, he survived in the end. But people's homes destroyed, farm managers, farm workers, completely destroyed, equipment destroyed, crops destroyed, and no criminal charges, no filing of charges, domestic terrorism. This is what South Africa has to deal with. So don't sit there and try to gaslight us and tell us that things are well in South Africa. They're not. South African society is sick when it tolerates this sort of behavior. People who transgress societal norms should be punished. That's the whole purpose of forming governments, to protect our mutual needs, including public safety. Human Rights Day. Kill the Boer. How is that celebrating human rights? All that's celebrating is black supremacy and racism. That's all that celebrates, and revenge. South Africa is reverting to the Middle Ages. It's not a good look, folks. Trump isn't wrong. South Africans are lying to the world. What say you? Cheers.